barnet's going to look for this. So I've just come back from work and this is my unwashed hair. I'm about to go to the gym, so I'm not making too much of an effort with this video. I look how I look. Apologies. Oh God, this is gonna be hard. Okay, first of all, I'm now in my 3rd trimester and I'm really happy about it. I can't wait for this pregnancy to be over. This video is gonna be a super honest video. I mean, they always are, but I've been avoiding saying a lot of the things I'm going to say in this video, so this will be good for me, good for people who are also struggling. Oh God. Okay, so 3rd trimester, I'm coming up to 28 weeks pregnant and I can't wait for it to be over. Oh my God, that's so bad. I feel really bad about saying that, but I've not enjoyed this pregnancy. There's been times where I've been excited, things have felt better, sometimes where things have felt worse. So there has been moments where, you know, I haven't been down the whole time, but I, on a whole, haven't really enjoyed the last 7 months and I've found it quite difficult. So this video is going to be about truth. So I don't really post, I try not to post negative things on my Instagram, mainly because I don't think it's very nice for, I think it's more, why don't I do that? Mainly because it makes, if I'm feeling not 100% positive and I'm like, this is how I feel, this is the good things that are happening today, then it really heightens my mood. And I hope that it does that for other people. So if I'm feeling particularly shitty, I might write a post about it, but I tend to try and ignore my negativity and try and do stuff that makes me feel more positive. I think loads of people do that. And that's my way of kind of getting out of bad moods sometimes. So I don't always want to dwell or focus on the negative. So I think I spend a lot of my posts are like positive posts. So that's for me, that's for people who read them. And I think that has actually not been helping my situation because, especially over the last, basically the 2nd trimester, I found really, really hard. Last week I had a really bad week. So a few years ago I suffered with, like so many girls do, and not just girls, guys, but it seems to be girls in their early to late 20s that suffer more so, I feel. Maybe that's just because I'm more aware of it, but I got really down. I was suffering with like bad anxiety and was panicking. I felt massively out of control of my life. I've said this before on my Instagram post and I think I've mentioned it on here before, but my way of coping with it and my way of dealing with it was I really put my head into training and being healthy and having a routine, and it did so much for my mental health that's part of the reason I became a PT. I feel so passionately about fitness and health being really beneficial to your mental health that since I've been pregnant, especially in the 2nd trimester, I've felt, although I've carried on training, I really feel like I've lost that outlet for me a little bit. So it was my kind of stress and anxiety controller. You know, I go to the gym and I kind of felt in control of my well-being basically, and I feel like through this pregnancy I have completely lost control of that. Not just how my body's changing, but also my mind and my emotions. So I have been finding that really hard. And last week I had a particularly bad week when I was just panicking that because I haven't enjoyed the pregnancy, God, I feel so bad saying this, I starting to get really worried that I wouldn't enjoy my baby. I was thinking like, God, what if I don't have these overwhelming feelings of love, and you know, what if that doesn't happen for me? Oh, I feel so bad saying it because I'm sure it will happen, but yeah, last week I was just like really stressed out about it so much and having like really bad like anxiety attacks. I couldn't breathe and I like just couldn't see sense. I couldn't see any positivity, or I couldn't see the light. But it's only happened when I've been on my own. So during the day, I'm like 7-8 hours a day I'm working with clients, and I'm able to kind of take my mind off it. I can go to the gym, I can take my mind off it. My boyfriend comes home in the evening and it's lovely, and I don't stress about it. It's then when I'm on my own, I'm like, oh my God, like up and down throughout the day. Anyway, last week I had an appointment at the doctor's for a whooping cough injection for the baby, and I just happened to be freaking out that day. On the way there, I was like, I couldn't breathe, I kept having to sit down, I was stressing out about this, like having postnatal depression, and yeah, so I went to the doctor's. She did her thing and she was like, are you sure there's nothing else bothering you? And when people say that and there is, and you're in that state, I was like, ah! Couldn't stop crying. I couldn't talk to her properly because I was like, it's just. She basically referred me to a counsellor because she said postnatal depression is a really serious, or can be a really serious thing, and we just don't want you to, we don't want to ignore it, basically. So I was just, yeah, I felt stupid, but it also felt quite nice to just get it out in the open that I haven't been feeling very good. I don't know if you can see me properly. So that was that, and then on Monday I went to see this lady, this counsellor lady, and I felt really guilty and I felt really embarrassed because I'd had a lovely weekend and actually I felt quite positive, and so I went and spoke to her. All these feelings are still there in the back of my head, and she was amazing. She basically said it happens all the time. Lots of people don't have this perfect, beautiful pregnancy that, oh my God, that's so rank, that that they expect, or that everyone around them seems to be having. It's like an overwhelming feeling of guilt about it. Like I should be, this is a beautiful time, and so many people can't have children, so many people have complications in their pregnancy, and I shouldn't be feeling these selfish thoughts, but they kind of overwhelm you a little bit and you can't really help it. So anyway, so she was really, really helpful, and I'm gonna just carry on talking to her once a month, I think, and they're yeah, God, I feel so stupid. So the reality is I have so the past couple of days I've taken myself away from Instagram a little bit, because it can be so soul destroying when all you see is like perfect bumps, perfect babies, perfect lives, perfect like, and it's my fault because I follow these people, but it's easy to look at these things and then look down at your carbonara and toast for dinner and think, who am I? What am I doing? What am I doing to my body? So that is the reality of my last couple of weeks. Beginning of my third trimester, and I freaked out, and I think the emotions of the last 7 months, which I've kind of been trying to ignore, not let them boil up too much, has actually just boiled, and I felt like I'd really failed my pregnancy, and I just hope it is all this rainbows and wonderfulness when she comes out, which I'm sure it will be. I have learnt during this pregnancy that I am one of the most, I like to be in control. I didn't realise quite how much I like to be in control of my body, of my workouts, of my mind, of my emotions. And when you're pregnant, let me tell you, all that goes out the window. There's no control. Throughout this whole pregnancy, I have been blessed with no sickness, no swelling of the ankles, no real like water retention. I don't think I've been quite lucky with that. No stretch marks so far, no real excessive tiredness. Like sometimes I'm a little bit, but I think that's my diet, which hasn't been amazing. No cramping or leg, what do they call it? Overactive legs or something in the evening. My sleeping has been okay. Like I've always woken up in the night or I wake up really early. So that's not really been too much of an issue. They are just some of the positives. I've been really lucky with that, I think. So it's not all bad news. Things I have suffered from, obviously this overwhelming feeling of loss of control and feel like you're in somebody else's body and you're not making decisions for yourself. I have experienced quite bad acid reflux or heartburn, usually towards the end of the afternoon, early evening. Don't know why, it just seems to happen then. I think as I start to kind of slow down physically, it's just a constant, feels like you've drunk some vinegar, which is not very nice. By the way, the doctor suggested me having antidepressants, which I don't really, I know sometimes they are the only option for some people, but personally I don't want to go down that route. And like I said, for me in the past, the thing that really helped was routine, exercise, being healthy, getting outside, all those things. So that's kind of, you know, I know that for me that works, so I just need to keep that in mind and just do that as much as I can. My skin. I know I should show you and be honest and get my back out, but I'm not going to because I hate it. I've had back knee, and I've talked about this before, since maybe week 13 or 14, and it feels like forever. Doctor gave me some cream, which you can use when you're pregnant, because obviously you can't use anything when you're pregnant. TBC on that, because I've only been using it for a couple of days, so we will see. I have been getting some, I call them Branston pickles because I can't really remember what they're called. Braxton Hicks are quite fun. She's moving around loads, and these Braxton Hicks, I quite like that. I'm like, okay, it's nearly over, she's nearly here, I can see the end. It's quite exciting because I've said before, I haven't felt a huge connection yet, so when I feel her kicking loads and in the side of my uterus, it's quite nice. I like it. Should probably show you my belly, shouldn't I? Okay, so it's huge now. Well, it feels huge. So is my back. These leggings, by the way, are amazing. I'm definitely counting down the days now. I am looking forward to meeting her so much. I'm looking forward to having time, just me and her in the garden, and me doing workouts, now sleeping and never crying. Pregnancy isn't all unicorn dust for some people. Anyway, turn this around by going to the gym now, doing a good workout, getting nice and sweaty, and feeling good, and then coming and eating all the food. Goodbye. I'm sorry this has been a negative week, but it's just best to be honest, and hopefully it will help some people who are feeling the same and feeling really guilty about feeling like that, because it happens to other people. Hopefully these next weeks will be much more positive.